Welcome to
Always
this week's
coordinating.
episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Esports Wrap. I'm your host, Michael Amorgan, and with us this week we have Black Nebula. Uh, from Black Nebula, we have Maurice, otherwise known as Chillagen,
Hey,
and Tyler, otherwise known as Ronin.
what's up? What's up?
Well, what's up? What's up? Tell me a little bit about you guys. I guess Chillagen, you want to start first?
Okay, well, I wouldn't even say I'm the leader. I'm definitely the co-founder of Black Nebula. I'm a true gamer at heart. I just love quite a bit of things, a little bit of anime, a little bit of sport. I've always really just love. I don't know. I just always love games, man. Like just the whole storyline from just the multiplayer and stuff. It's just for me. It's just always there, and I don't know. I just feel like I'm a jack of all trades. I like a lot of stuff, like from intricacies of music, and food. You name it. Knowledge is knowledge. But I'm a pass it to Tyler.
Um, I'm Tyler. You can find me on pretty much everything as at Ronin. That's with an X instead of an O. Um, People love to butcher my name for one. That's a fun fact.
Oh,
Um,
kind of cool.
um, yeah, I don't know. I'm just also a very passionate gamer. I've been playing video games since I was like 5 years old, and they've been a constant source of, I guess, happiness in my life. And now we created Black Nebula to kind of foster that in other people and help everyone, realize that video games are more than just a hobby or something to do in your spare time. Like you can actually make a career and a fulfilling life out of it.
It's a lifestyle, you know.
It is.
And to even answer, I mean, we could just go back. How did even Black Nebula started? I don't know. I think Tyler can answer this because I'm probably crap at memory.
We've really just been having a lot of conversations about video games and esports and the connections and the growing esports industry that's still kind of a wild west. And then we looked over here and we saw that no one was taking advantage of this extremely unique opportunity. um, and so we looked at all the things other people were doing and we were like, oh, these people stream, we can do that. These people go to tournaments, we can do that. These people host tournaments, we can do that. And it sort of just snowballed into this whole all-encompassing idea of Black Nebula, where we're trying to, foster every aspect of video game.
Yeah, it just came about. It was just we just played it from a young age, and I even knew him from I don't know, almost as a kid. We started with like RuneScape, but that wasn't even the first. That was just almost the start of online gaming, other than Halo and Call of Duty. Oh man, those were some good times. SOCOM and Black Nebula just is a whole 20-year thought that we never thought about. So it's a little like,
Subconsciously.
yeah, it's a paradox in itself, but it just you felt amazing when we talked about it. And just the sheer fact that we can help people to get to that next step. And not even just that, creating a hub where people can be themselves at any plane, from super casual to story driven, just like the conversations, even when we're talking at these different venues and at the events out of it. It was just a pleasure. It's always a community that's always been great to me. That's good and bad, but it was definitely mixed with anime as well. But yeah, games have just always been amazing.
Um, so you guys actually had your first event this past Saturday, which I and Juan and Chris, who are my co-hosts for different shows, but they attended as well. And the tournament was actually pretty nice. Like for your first event, I'd say good job.
Thanks, man. Like,
We kind of put a bit of thought and effort into marketing it. I realized that there aren't that many Bahamian gaming organizations on Twitter. Most of them are on Facebook. So I feel like being on Twitter, we were able to reach a completely different demographic who might not have been a part of the Bahamian fighting game community already. So kind of just like to bring new people in. Excuse me. And also a lot of people really like our idea in general, and they want to support Black Nebula because they want to see a growing esports scene in the Bahamas, and they want us to succeed because us succeeding means everyone else succeeds. Because we're not in this for us, we're in this to elevate everyone else and bring them along and show them the potential that they have within themselves.
That's admirable.
Yeah, it's a very like selfless act, and you just feel good about it because like you always, it depends on the person, but at least for me, I just always wanted to find something that will enable me to help people, and this is a part of it. So just the sheer fact that people could come there, be themselves, enjoy, be engrossed in amazing conversation, be real weebs, and really be enticed by the community, the whole energy. Just when people just watching the plays, everyone who just didn't know each other just meshed. It was just like a big family.
Speaking of that, I went there mainly to cheer on Dwan and Chris, since they were actually two people who were supposed to be entering in Caliber events. Noticed that we needed one more person. Somehow decided in my head it was a good idea to enter as well. Got my butt thoroughly handed to me, but still enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's a part of growing as a gamer. Like the best way to get better is to get destroyed in a video game.
Pretty much.
But also, like, I feel like that's a good way to grow as a person. Like it's always fine to look at people playing in tournaments and be like, oh, I can do that too, or whatever. But once you get on stage, like, it's a completely different beast, Like, you have to fight your nerves and yourself, and then you have to fight the opponent, and it depends. Like, at our tournament, the crowd was kind of getting in it, even though they really shouldn't have been. But I mean,
but that's the type of thing like I've been enticed by, was the whole community of fighting, and just the fact that we had even a portion of that here, because like we watched Evo, yeah, I mean Tyler, and just the sheer fact that when they played Dragon Ball FighterZ in the championships, they had a scene where Cell just like charges up and everyone screams to the top with their noise. And it was just so lit to find that. Man, that was cool, man. That was hard. That was one of my favorite parts of Evo. And just the sheer fact that we had that there, it's great, man. People just talking, mashing, random strangers. People just wanted to chill out. They spend there for 30 minutes, hour just watching. People are busy, but they still come in for a couple minutes. Like from Twitter, messing people from Twitter. That was what was kind of weird. We just shared it on Twitter, and then people was asking, when is the next tournament? When are you gonna host the next game, like Brawlhalla? What do y'all do? Do y'all need help? What? It was just so weird. Like it's just like our palms was open and everything just came in to being. And I have to really show my appreciation to Stan for even allowing us to give us the venue, because we were just talking to him and he's just been such a cool guy, and he really wants, I really want, both of us really want, all of us really want to make this happen. That's beautifully said, but damn, it yeah, that's what it comes to, man. All of us just really passionate, and it's just time.
It really is. And when you really think about it, like you mentioned, people came there an hour, half an hour just to spectate. But people who came there to play, like, okay, it started at 3. And it started with Soul Calibur. That didn't end until what, 7, 8?
No, that ended at 6.
Yeah, oh, it ended at 6. Okay. That's still 3 hours essentially of people waiting there, just watching other people play.
Before Tekken.
Before,
that's crazy.
Like, they even went, because a lot of them came there for Tekken. But that's still 3 hours of watching a game that you don't really like. You're not there necessarily for, but you're getting hyped up in.
Yeah, people were hyped.
I think part of that too was the fact that we had excuse me, a female gamer come in and basically just destroy everyone that she came up against.
And I had to deal with that. That was not fun, dude.
Yeah,
I had to deal with her
outclassed
before, and I knew how she was going to be because, like I said, she's my co-host, so I know her.
Yeah. No one could have given me some type of, hey, dude, she's
Warning.
gonna be really good. She'll be in the P's and Q's. Because when I got destroyed in the first round, because I was just ending the tournament for memes. I just like fighting games. I'm a competitive guy, so I was like, whatever. I'm probably gonna deal with the most hardest chains and juggles off the stage. But everyone was really good. Everyone had their own play style. That's why I like fighting games. Just that micromanagement of your like health bar and executing certain positions is just love it. That's fighting games are just, I don't know. It's really intense. And there's a discipline.
It
Because
requires
you
a lot
always
of
have to
training.
hold yourself back rather than, all in or trying to do a combo. And just the people who waited there, majority watched, but the other people who were on the side were like training. So when the game happened, because I noticed they were training in Tekken, warming up.
Mm-hmm.
They got prepared. Like people took it really serious, and I'm happy that we have a lot of competitive / casual people, because even the casual people are great.
Yeah. Doing pretty good.
I just call myself a super casual. But from hosting that, I've learned that we meshed really well together. People really enjoyed themselves. And if we get it to the point where people are just like, wow, I can be true to myself. I can talk about games at any position and just have fun. Like I can see us way bigger than this. And especially in the Bombers, because this guy who we were talking to was kind of in the Bombers. He is kind of like a mentor. And he was I just asked him, yo, what would you think about a tournament in the Bahamas? He's like, what? Where? You play games in the Bahamas? You can't be serious. Streamer now. And he every time I talk about where I'm from, because people, usually on the internet just say, where are you from? And you're like, Bahamas. You play League? You guys play Overwatch? What is this species? And you just shock them, especially when you're doing really good. Oh, we island people like the game too. Remember that. Because even some people from the Caribbean, I think one guy won the Capcom Pro Tour. I don't know if it was St. Kitts, but he was so good.
I believe it was
He
St.
just
Kitts.
demolished. It was?
I believe so.
I know it's Saint something, but now he has his team. He brought them to New York. They wiped New York out of the fighting game tournament. And now that we find some hidden gems here, it's Black Nebula's duty to make sure they train, have enough time, and be able to make it to these tournaments, so they can fulfill their passion on behalf of themselves, because it starts with you, on the behalf of us and the country, because people are going to be rooting for you, and that's the type of attitude that we want to create.
And I think that atmosphere, because let's admit it, back when we were in high school, and I'm pretty sure that some people still do it even up to today. Saying you were playing games. Like, what you do last night? I was just playing some game.
What? Do you socialize? Do you realize that I talk to people around the world?
Yeah. They don't seem to understand that aspect of it, especially parents, which is another aspect of it. So you're not only being bombarded by your friends and peer pressure to say, well, gaming is essentially, a waste of time, but sometimes you have parents who don't understand the level of what actually happens when you game, how it can improve you as a person, both mentally and physically. And they're telling you it's a waste of time as well. Let's not even talk about if you actually manage to grow.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we kind of want to change and that we keep harping on. There's like video games and esports are becoming a whole entire industry aside from the creation and consumption of it. Like before, video games were just like, oh, you basically just create the games as being the only uh, vehicle for a video game profession. But now it's like you get paid to play the games, you get paid to create the games, you get paid to commentate on the games, you get paid to organize tournaments around the
Study
games.
frame data.
Right.
Study frame data.
So there's like a huge entire industry just around video game competition. And I think that if you change the dialogue away from video games as a hobby into video games as a profession or an industry, then people will be more receptive to the idea of, oh, you can get a career in esports. You can be a player and get a scholarship, or you can be a professional coach and have, make like decent money, or you can like run an esports organization and put on tournaments, and there's so many different options within.
There's levels.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, video games are just a hobby now, etc.
Yeah, because like even at a certain point when we're talking to multimillionaires about like esports, they have no clue. Literally no clue what's going on. I mean, not even they like the numbers first. So when you tell them this, surprise, because they weren't born in that era, and even in that era, that's where video games really started in the 50s and even earlier. So how did you miss this train?
Because it wasn't popular. It wasn't the in thing. They were focused on other things that was like, oh, that's for nerds.
Yeah, go to the bar.
Geeks. Yes. Exactly. And so that wasn't their focus. It was the wrong side of the social club, essentially.
And then to even go off for the the whole parenting thing, that was something that we had to struggle in that generation, because I described the 80s and 90s babies as the in-betweeners, because we're the last of the old-fashioned ways and the beginning of the new. And it kind of restricted us depending on your brought up, or just how things move around in your life. So just the sheer fact that we can enlighten and change parents' perspective to be like, hey, these people know life this. They do this 8 hours a day. Just be not for money, but the sheer passion they have. I refer to games as universes because it's something that you have to accept that's not your own. It's purely virtual. It technically does not exist. So people can't comprehend that. So that's where that fine line of ignorance just never moves up until you enlighten them about the numbers, the money behind it. They're like, oh, this is probably pretty good. So I think it's probably our approach that we have to, like Tyler said, we have to show them the competitive aspect. We have to show them that there's a lot of money in this, and people will just fall for it. And that's all it takes. But see, that's where I don't want it to go, because majority of where esports at right now, FGC is one of the parts that has majority of the compassion, like of losing, coming back for 13-0, bringing the tournament back. And for Overwatch and League, I like it, but now it's adapted that sport level, like advertisement. Nothing feels passionate anymore until maybe you hit Worlds, and then you see everyone is like freaking out. But in that fine line is a little, corporate now, and that's what I'm really scared for the esports industry for. Yes, it's great, it's cool, but we still have to think about this, because we didn't come here for the money. We come here for the passion. The money will always come later.
It's crazy because I saw an article today on Twitter about well, not an article, a tweet. So basically what happened is Overwatch League has a subdivision called Contenders, which is kind of like minor leagues. And there's been a Contenders team since the inception called Toronto Esports, who are pretty good. But recently, with the second phase of the Overwatch League, the big parent league, they introduced a new team called the Toronto Defiant. And so basically, apparently, Toronto Esports had to completely change their name and their entire branding in like 6 weeks because the Toronto Defiant purchased naming rights to the name Toronto. And
Wow.
so, yeah,
Whoa.
I think they're two separate companies. I think Toronto Esports was under Boston Uprising or something like that.
And see,
So-
that's the thing we have to like avoid that type of stuff.
That's not cool.
Especially if we have to compete, you know, the small island have to compete against these foreign entities that already have the finances and the player base. I mean, yeah, there's powers in numbers, but you know, you have the 20 best people in the world. What does the rest of the world matter? Nothing. So we have to do our due diligence, make sure that these people train. And I mean, they already want to do this. This is what they want to do. It's just that they kind of doubt because they don't know where they can go with this. Like we've seen it, but there's no like solidifying platform in this country for these type of players. Because when we went to the first tournament, we found this by mistake. You know, Ronan just told me, "Hey, check this out, the Street Fighter." So I just competed. We were just trying to figure out how good these guys were, and I was highly
You got
impressed.
destroyed.
I mean, at Stand
Yeah, I
Spikes.
got destroyed. Yeah, I got destroyed. I mean, I came 7th, but there's quite a bit of people.
Yeah.
But we learned that people actually took this really, really seriously because a lot of things that causes our country to be overshadowed is the efficiency behind the certain industries. And just looking, you know, having a little insight, we noticed that these people have the passion and they train religiously. Every day you see in the chat, I'm on, let's fight, spar, learning new tech, sharing stuff. And that's all we need to make this great. So we have to start this and make sure it's really nice, like right, and just so people can still have fun and not deal with this whole movement, just like what Ronan said. Like we can't afford that. We can't divide ourselves just because of a little cash. We have to go against the world. And we have talent there, man, in all aspects. I've met too much intelligent people in different categories. And just for esports and the talent I've seen alone, there's definitely monsters out there. We have to find them.
Yep. You're completely right. And sometimes you end up with people who have to take a step away from the scene. Like what we were talking about before the show. Hey, welcome, Cuss Bud.
What's up, guys? But how you doing? But it's just I'm really impressed. I'm excited that, you know, people going out of their way to want to see us grow, and we want to see everyone else grow. And so next week, Bahamas Esports League, you know, hosted by Alex, is going to be for Street Fighter, Dragon Ball, Fighter Z, and Guilty Gear. And that's the area that he specializes in with Smash. So look forward, very forward to it, because I'm probably gonna be there competing and commentating. I don't know. I've just what was really made me happy was the fact that when I commentated, what are you playing for? Get over there. And it was like, all right, cool. Because I don't know. I like talking smack, and it's just like not smacking like trying to wish harm on it, but just like the competitive type of smack, because that's what we grew up on in that Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 2 and 3 age. Like we were 14, 15, and these were adults. Like they're like, get out of here, trash. What are you doing? Get good. Like,
come get these hands.
You're not good.
That's a pretty Bahamian thing too. Like Bahamians love to badmouth each other and like playfully jest and talk smack about each other and all that.
That's what we need for this community, and I've seen it, and just I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Pancakes, you're not too late. You're a bit late, but you're not too late.
It's just we've gone through some intricate like topics, man. I mean, it'll definitely probably be uploaded, so check it. But the next tournament we're really looking forward to, because we're just doing it a half and half. So BSL, and Black Nebula would be using the same facility for King of Games to allow us to be flexible, because at a certain point we're going to be planning Fortnite and Call of Duty and various game competitions and FIFA, because someone came out of their way and messaged Ronan saying that, hey, there's some guys here who really want to get deep into this esports for sports games, because even though it's not games I don't want to say not care about, that we prefer not to play, like sports, watching a good FIFA game is enticing.
Yes,
it is. And don't forget, what's one of the most popular sports here?
Soccer.
You've got, but even before soccer, you've got basketball, then soccer,
and
then football.
Not to mention, the upgrade to that is that basketball teams are now sponsoring players to play their team, which I'm like, then we can do this for FIFA and all these other games. I like this. I mean, I doubt anyone would be playing ice hockey and HL, but
oh. White Pancakes is calling out Tyler's cam.
Say Tyler Cam though. Okay, you don't even understand right now.
You can't show all the drip all the time, okay?
Oh, yeah, you can't understand. Like, who needs a cam if you have a permanent picture? Like, I see you. That was so like philosophical.
That's flawless. Art next to art, my friend.
Oh, wow. Someone's ego's high, man.
Yo, you took some L's just now, man. But it's just the terminologies behind this whole community, and just every game has its own culture. Like, what people don't understand is just, you see text only really exists in fighting games, not in like MOBAs and shooting. Who's gonna
for those who aren't aware of what tech is, that's technique, combos, and you have to move certain kind of, do certain button combinations and stuff like that.
And then also with tech, it's also tech grab, when you're like, they're also grabbing you, and you just like grab with their grab and nullifies the whole thing. So it kind of puts you in a neutral state, so you can reset the fight.
Exactly. And we got someone watching it from Scotland. Tyler, another Tyler.
Hey, Tyler. Me, Tyler.
Tyler Alley, 1999. Welcome to the stream.
Boy.
And he's a 90s baby. Hey, what's up?
I love meeting other Tylers because I have this theory that all Tylers are exceptional.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've not really met another more feel about that.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Wow.
But yeah, every Tyler I've ever met has always been like a pretty amazing person in some way or the other. So hopefully you
Tyler, lotion yourself some more.
I got a huge bottle of Cetaphil right here, my boy.
Hey, but Tyler, like, I wonder, that who's the better Tyler though?
Ooh, see.
Ooh.
Now you're asking deep philosophical questions.
Ooh.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to have a Tyler off over the internet. That would involve like being in person, present in person. There's a lot to evaluate.
What do you mean? People like
physical looks.
People get feelings from Instagram, okay?
Yeah, but
they
it's
do.
Not the same. Like, it's not like you can feel the person's aura.
We get into auras and everything like that now.
Yeah, I feel like there's more to a person than just what they say or how they look or everything.
You meant energy, man.
A quality person has like pretty much everything going for them simultaneously. And I feel like you can apply that to video games too. Like the highest people, they in Overwatch, for example, or League of Legends, they have the best CS, and at the same time they have the best positioning, and at the same time they land all their skill shots, and all of those things work together in tandem to kind of make like the optimized player. Like even if you're amazing at CSing, if you miss all your skill shots in the end game battles, what's the point?
That was the point. And then even with that, with the whole auras and you can judge someone like kind of is a little accurate. I'd say 50-50, but based upon the character that they select. It's either a underlying like personality trait, like where you're this gentle person and you play like the biggest dude and you just destroying it. Like some people are monsters on the internet, man. Like I've
This is
seen
true.
it all.
Yeah.
I've literally seen it all. And like for example, like Tyler One, he plays Draven in League of Legends, and Draven is this cocky ADC, attack damage carry that's range, and Tyler One literally freaks out and acts just like him. Yeah. Because like for League, when I play certain characters, I usually play long range mages because I'm always the one who collects data.
Hey,
Yeah, mage gang is just you collect data and you all in. That's all you do for the whole game, and I just love that play style. I've always been a mage. I mean, Tyler, what would you be? I think you'd be an assassin, to be honest, if you pick your class.
It depends. I like a variety of different. I don't know. I just a lot of characters just like speak to me, but also like in different ways. So in Overwatch, my favorite character is Ana. Because her kid is so powerful, she can literally like every one of her skills can completely change the tide of battle. You land a crazy sleep on an ulting Genji, you suddenly win the fight off of that. You land a fat nade and you purple, you anti-heal like half of the enemy team, you win a huge fight off of that. But she's a support. There are other games like Smite. One of my favorite characters was Apollo, and he was an ADC also. But I don't know, just being able to play aggressive with him and use his mobility to outplay people, outmaneuver people was something that really appealed to me. And then in certain other games, you know, I play tank characters, frontline bruisers, or something like that. So I feel like personally, I'm a pretty flexible person, but the character I've most identified with throughout all games is probably Ana.
Wow. You learned something new because I didn't know that. Yeah.
I feel like I've told you this before.
Yeah, you know, I don't remember anything.
he did like start off the show with like he doesn't remember stuff. Apparently Tyler 2, who's in Scotland, says that he's only ever met 2 other people in Scotland named Tyler. So I guess this is, well, you're not in Scotland, this is Tyler number 3. Apparently Jacqueline Joseph says that she agrees with you. I'm not exactly sure. And White Pancake says play Dota 2, not League. Yuck.
I don't know. I feel like most MOBAs now have kind of faded out for me. I played a lot of Smite in 2016, I think that was. But that was the deepest I've ever gotten into, I guess, a traditional MOBA. After that, I kind of moved to Overwatch, which is a non-traditional MOBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I still like play MOBAs. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Dota. I mean, each his own, but Dota doesn't have that flashy, immediate movement feel because Dota you kind of play like chess, so there's a slight like lag compared to League, because like League is like Street Fighter. When you, as soon as you press that ability, you're in there. Dota, you have to like pre-think. Don't get me wrong, both are good because I play all MOBAs except Han. That's trash. Just don't even play that game, okay? But for League, I put majority of my time in because that was the highest peak of getting to semi-pro level, and it was never in the thoughts because I just loved the game so much. Like my favorite character is Malzahar, and he was just an innocent guy who just got overthrown by the void, and he just became a monster. And sometimes you just lose yourself to the dark side. That's like the same thing with Rona's talk about, like certain characters speak to certain parts of you.
I mean, if you want to touch on that, my favorite anime character of all time is Griffith, who I might add did absolutely nothing wrong.
What?
Absolutely nothing wrong. That man is completely innocent and does not deserve to be vilified like he is. Thank you. for coming to my TED Talk.
That was a TED Talk. Like I almost caught cancer for that.
Wait, what?
Griffin, out of all the people. See,
Look.
that's what happens when you're a pretty boy.
Go
Wow. Okay.
That's messed up.
Shots fired.
Go ahead.
Griffin. Like I don't understand if you say, you know, Ash, something. I don't know. Something.
Ash.
I don't know. I just threw someone out there, but Griffin, I can't give that man no respect. Nah.
I'm sorry.
I would say for me, nah. I would say anime for games. My favorite character of all time has to be Master Chief.
Wow.
Master Chief
Yeah.
is the GOAT. And it wasn't even the fact that I just played the games. That was actually one of the first times I actually read a whole series through the books as well. It has like 7 books.
You read books?
Wow. Wow. I need to do that now? Okay.
Woo.
This is why
No.
we need to tech so I could put you in your place.
In
Woo!
real life? No, but for real though, people don't really read books anymore. I personally have an entire bookshelf, like 5 shelves, 3 rows deep, full of books. And I haven't touched a book in like a decade or 2, to be honest. Like I have a book that I'm supposed to be reading now. It's been sitting on my bed for literally a year. And I'm like 100 pages in out of 900 pages. I don't know. Personally, I just prefer, I'm at the point now where like I'm either reading manga or watching anime. And I feel like that's what most people are doing in the video game / nerd world.
Yeah. It's just like what I was saying earlier in the stream. They just directly proportional.
You guys actually do have a point. Yeah. I mean, I do read books from time to time. Still, even if it's not physical, at least it's like on my phone.
Yeah. It has to be something crazy like Art of War, something like it has to be very like
Yeah, they're typically
actually,
sci-fi,
like-
fantasy kind of stuff.
yeah, like it has to be so good that everyone talks about it. Like, read particular books, like probably Warren Buffett, because that guy is a walking just money man. It has to be, for me to read something, it has to be something of extreme importance. Because a lot of books, they're cool. Don't get me wrong, but manga just fulfills all sides. The fact that you're passively and actively learning at the same time. Because, for example, you're passive when you're watching TV. You're active when you're reading a book. And manga does both. So that's where the real entertainment comes in, because you could fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
So that's why when people look at you and they be like for example, when I was at work, I was just talking about maybe anime or something. No, I went to an interview and it was just a bunch of people, and we just give it interest, and I said like I like anime or whatever, and it was just like looking at me weird, and I was like, was I not supposed to say that or something? And then a couple people were just like, yo, do you watch that for real? Like, tell me what you want. And I'm just like, why is it like this? You go to the States, you go to college and stuff, and you travel, and people are just so normal with that. You go to cosplay conventions, gaming conventions, it's just like water. And this is the type of industry that we want to bring here. Like, there's enough people here, but no one wants to open up. So if it has to take us, like, this is a part of one of our directives, to make people treat this as normal. No more pushing this aside saying this is uncool. Because I've met people from all walks of life, different degrees, family or not, playing games. And it's sheer fact is this is what unified people. I've had people who I play with for like 7 to 10 years.
Never met them in real life.
Never met them.
No idea what they look like.
But they'll ask me how I'm doing today, or were we playing this game?
Yep.
And those are the connections that our parents and older generations don't understand. You can't be everywhere at the same time. We don't have that superpower. So just this sheer fact through this wire that we were talking, the better Tyler in Scotland, and your wife and Say's Pud, like, we're all here as a collective. And even when you post this online, people see that this is normal. And I'm glad that we're making this next step for that. Because I want to see people happy, man. Like
That's the main thing. Do it for love. You do it for passion. Do it because you enjoy it and it makes you.
yeah, man. Just so when we just had those tournaments and we all vibe again, like that's one of the reasons why I didn't stream it, because it would have been super loud in there until like we get the proof and stuff. But the sheer energy and that magnitude of that amount of people, like you said, people sat there for 3 hours waiting for playing Tekken. We lost, what was it, one guy? Tyler?
Yeah, I think one guy had to leave.
Yeah, we lost one guy. And like he paid for it. And it was just like, whatever. He was just like, oh, yeah, I supported it.
And someone else took his place, I
understandable.
think.
I think someone else did.
Yeah, he did. But just even then, he was just like, because I think we met one time when we went to King of Games. And he brought out his Lars. Because he was playing your main Ronin, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
And he destroyed me. And I was like, okay. Time to bring out the main. So they brought out Lars. And like I wiped him in Tekken. And he's like, your Lars is garbage.
I mean, he didn't lie though.
Ooh.
Compared to Dibbles.
Okay, that guy is a monster. Okay. No, it's Brian, dude. Well, no. Yeah, Dibbles was Lars. He had a really great Lars.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what we're also watching at these tournaments. We're looking at how they play. How do they handle pressure? How do they handle losses? Do they do anything different when they win? And these things gonna constitute to the players that we actually pick. And when the opportunity does arise, and we get sponsored or invested based on what people talking to us about, we can push these people to the next step. And you gotta understand that they're doing it for hometown. Like, we just feel like we need to do a better representation of home, and this way can definitely reset. Because of the sheer passion, happiness, just being engrossed in this community just brings so much happiness to my life. And this is one of the ways to give back, to fulfill other people's dreams. Because that Black Nebula is the hub for gaming, and that's where we're planning to see ourselves in the future. So just being the parent company in a sense, not controlling some like big evil corporation, but a network to allow people to be flexible in what they want to do. Because like even these guys who compete for Best G, which is for BTVI, they would like to be under us, and I don't mind them being under us, so they could just follow their training and spreading the word. Because they were saying that they were going to talk to parents about the same problem that we have, to get rid of the stigma of gaming, that you're wasting your life, you're not doing anything, you're not meeting anyone, you're making the best relationships of all time and having the best moments of your life, because this is something that you're passionate about and this is your niche. And we want more groups to come out and compete and show me your worth. Because I always say, if I'm pretty good, gotta be better than me, and all I can show me is that you have the dedication.
Yeah.
So
hey, shout out to Pancakes, Bobby's life.
we're almost at that time. What's next for Black Nebula?
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, literally everything we can get our hands on, we're trying to improve and streamline and bring to everyone.
Yeah.
We're kind of focused on presenting the best possible tournaments to you right now. So we're trying to get some equipment and some digital artwork done and all that sort of stuff, so we can stream future tournaments. And then past that, we're also working on building our digital community. So if you're interested in joining us on Discord, hit any of us up and we'll send you the Discord invite. And then further down the road, we're actually looking to try and sponsor people to get off to, the upcoming international tournaments. So we're looking at Evo specifically. So if we can get like some people off there for like Fighter Z and Street Fighter and Tekken and all that sort of stuff, then that's absolutely something that we're looking to do. So
And then even other than that, building the Discord, because I was telling people that probably 20, I would say 20% of the Discord is Bahamians, and the rest are like just foreigners and really cool people that we've met, small streamers, girl gamers, you name it, and people are just here to be cool. We have some, I would say we have a little everything. You have the wacky people, raiders, because there's so many different types of gamers. You can't just ghetto one. You accept it all because this is the internet culture, and we just want to expand and make sure that this becomes normal and find enough people to create this loop of just people who taking the different parameters around esports. So us being the hub and bringing everyone to be together, because with Alex, even though he's doing the streaming for the Bahamas Esports League, we're still working hand in hand to keep this alive, and it's our duty to do that. Because there's no, we got to do this better, or trying to undermine anything, or just take it off ourselves. It's not about that. It's about creating a networking within these groups. We want to find players. We want to find commentators. We found our news guy. Follow, like, subscribe, follow everything, get it together. But another person I have to really just be grateful to is Stan. He's the one who kept it still like going, even though things might not have this way, but this reset is going to explode it, and I can already see it from the last two tournaments. So that tournament compared to the first one, there was a lot of new faces, and there was not much groups. The last tournament, everyone had a history of playing against each other, because you could see, not from being at the tournaments, but watching certain play styles, because you could read who has a history of fighting each other. Just there's a parameter randomness and style, and they had the style, but there was no parameter for randomness. So you knew, like, Monoko and what was it? Was it Chris G? They had extreme like competitiveness, and I've seen it, and I've saw it in that ball. So I'm liking that. But like I said, let me not move too far from it. Our next real step is just explode the esports industry over here. Bring as much people together, categorize them, and make this a rolling train. And we want to find as much people, just saying, like, if this opportunity really happened and everything's solidified with our finances, nobody has to worry about us. And that's what we're trying to do. There's some surprises that I can't say yet until the lockdown, but we have to scout and find as much people as fast as possible, because this esports is not going to wait for anyone, from players, from what you're doing, from what we're doing. And like I said, we have to come together and compete against the rest of the world, because there's none really for Bahamians. And just the fact that you told us really hurt us, that guy was at that point. And on defense for us, if we have to find that guy again, we gonna get him.
No, Haki
come back to this. I'm not gonna let you go down.
Yeah.
And that's real. That's
no gamer left behind.
No gamer left behind. Yo, we found a logo. Corporate that. No gamer left behind. Let's go. Selfless. That's Black Nebula in a nutshell. Just pure passion, love for the community, love for the competitive aspect. It's just, I love, man. Just love it.
So apparently Dwight says that he's going to be showing. So that's Dwight Fox, who was on the last episode of Wrap, host of Bahama Gamers Network, and that he's going to be showing off some footage from the tournament on his page tomorrow. So that would be Wednesday. So if you guys are listening to this podcast or watching the video after it's already been uploaded, then you may need to look a little bit down on his page, but that's on Facebook. These guys, you can find them on Twitter. I believe you guys have a Facebook page as well.
We
Yeah,
do have a
so
Facebook page now. Yeah.
People were requesting it in the chat and Twitter. And gotta support Mark Zuckerberg now.
Yeah, sell everyone's data.
So pretty much the main place to go for you guys is Twitter, right?
Twitter, Discord is more personal. You know what I mean? Like we're here live. Twitter is just, you have to wait for lag time. It's more of a general statement based upon, maybe some gaming quotes or some plays. Because in the future, what we're really looking for is video editors to showcase our talent and montages. Gaming video, we definitely need to show our talents in different parameters, even the failures, because those are hilarious. I love watching YouTube videos where people just flunk the whole team fight and just throw the game. I live for it. Not saying that I throw them, but
But yeah, okay. So Discord, I know Bahamians have a little bit of a problem with Discord and getting on there versus things like WhatsApp and Twitter, but maybe we'll get to change that eventually.
Yeah, I mean, the goal is to definitely have an equal amount of information as much as possible throughout all. So if someone doesn't have Twitter, then they can just as easily find out about all the stuff we have going on Facebook. And if they choose not to use Facebook, then you'll get all of that plus a little more on Twitter. But yeah, it's really, we want to make ourselves as accessible to as many people as possible, so it's easier for them to find us, and it's easier for us to disseminate information to them and connect with them. And like he said, let us know what you're doing, because we are always looking for, highly talented and very motivated people to help out.
Okay. So again, on Twitter right now, guys, they are @ Black Nebula. If you want, feel free to message or comment on the post, Facebook, Twitch, whatever it is. I'll give you the link for them, or you can message these guys directly if you're part of any of the groups or anything like that. You'll be able to get inside the Discord without any problems for that. So either way, find these guys.
Find us in a Black Nebula, all sources. You definitely see more videos and supporting other streams and doing more interviews, promoting more cookies, because we already found that guy.
Most importantly, more tournaments.
Everyone come get destroyed by yours truly. You know what I mean? Now people already in the chat are just saying, I'm coming for you. And for people who don't even play Soul Calibur, just picking up now, they've seen, the information and stuff. They're coming for me. And I'm like, whoa, I was just, trying to have fun. I didn't expect to win in. And then White Pancakes talk when White Paul said hi. Destroyed all in the Tekken. I lost to him. I was up 7th, and he just white tweets. Don't worry. Don't let me train, boy, but I too busy.
Yeah, we are too busy.
Yeah, but I just the fact that I can be able to withstand people who train a lot really says about my play style, because a lot of people say that my spacing and just gaming awareness is there, even though I don't specialize in fighting games. I'm preferably FPS and mobile. Just give me those two. A rocky world. The street fighting games is definitely new in my worst category, but I love it.
Yeah. Give us a couple months and a little bit more free time, and we'll train and come back and definitely win the whole tournament.
Yeah, but that's not the purpose of us. What's the point of us doing this?
Listen. Sometimes you have to assert your dominance, okay? I didn't say we have to win every tournament.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because that's the whole fact. Because even though we're leaders of this, we still want to show that, hey, just because we're running this don't mean we could come down there and destroy you. Exactly. You better be training.
Exactly. I don't think I'd follow anyone who's a gamer but is not really good at any games.
To be honest,
and that kind of tells me that you don't have the ethos and the passion yourself about the video games. You're just trying to facilitate everything else, but I don't know, we kind of need people who are gamers themselves first, and then that'll tell me, you know, you're serious and passionate about video games, and
Yeah, and I
you
really
want
see
us
that
to succeed.
from Best G, because the guys come with the crowd, they got they got
Jerseys.
their jackets and stuff, and I was like, yo, look at these guys, and I really appreciate that they have this. They know what they're doing. They're coming together. They're training. They're coming to take these tournaments. And I know there's more groups, or maybe some groups that have fair and don't have that safe space, but we're like, yo, come out, show your true face, and come compete at these tournaments. Meet more people. Network. That is what we were trying to do. Bring everyone together. So I must say, I really thank you for we had a wonderful, and this is more like, I don't know if this was an interview, but this is probably the most custom interview and just like introspective show of all time.
Yes.
And it was just for like the love. Yeah, it was definitely an interview, but we got a great deal of each other and just everyone else and what
And
objectives. Yeah, and memes. There was a lot of memes in this. Memes are
Yeah.
always good. And I have to thank you for giving us this awesome time. I had a great time, and thank you for everyone for watching, because this guy is great. I know who to go to for my esports and my tech streams, so definitely follow him at all of his social media. If you're not, I'm gonna have a problem with it, so don't let me find you and give you these hands. But
real life fans.
real life hands, seriously, follow this guy. More cookies at everything.
Yeah, man,
Even
we
that
definitely
website.
really appreciate the opportunities, having us on your show, allowing us to talk about Black Nebula and something we're passionate about, and reach a wider audience than we might have reached otherwise. Hopefully, we enlighten some people and encourage them to come out and play, because that's really what we want to see, just like new faces. Even if you can't make it to every, just try to make it to one, and who
Yeah.
knows how you feel about it.
You know what I mean?
Becoming a new
Yeah.
side.
This this little kid, 7. What was he? 7 years old.
He was 7, yeah.
Yeah, and he got his like first round, and I was like, hey, good stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna see guys, girls. of
In
different-
10 years, that kid is
Yeah.
going to be a pro player.
Yeah, we might have just ignited his passion just there.
Yep.
And we want to see people from all ages. I've met gamers all ages. There has to be gamers here.
There are.
Male, female,
Yeah.
10 to 50,000. I think the oldest gamer that I met when I played like PUBG was 70. And he was good. He was real good.
67 for me.
Oh, yeah, these guys, man, these guys started it. But not to run off, glad that you gave us this opportunity again. I had a great time, and I like to see more of this with some more faces and stuff. And if you want us again, talk about some stuff.
Hold on,
Your
before
boy
we
right
go,
here.
before we go. We never asked more cookies how he got his name.
Oh yeah, nah. Sorry, this is the after interview.
Yes.
This
We
is
interviewed
awesome.
you.
Ah,
Yes.
okay, y'all coming for me now. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um.
The gamer and me.
Okay, so there's two different versions of this. One I completely made up, and I randomly told some people who I was I was looking for some people for female gamers. My female gamers esports episode across like the world. And I went on one of their streams and whatnot, and I just kind of gave. But the real thing about it is, okay, so there's cookies. People love cookies. And it was always a thing like, come to the dark side, we have cookies. For this, we have cookies. This time and the next, we have cookies. And it was always like this thing that you always like handed out, like, because people always just love cookies. It's either cookies, brownies, pie, or cake.
Yeah.
That people love. And then of course there's the technology aspect of cookies and stuff like that, and like taking a bite out of stuff. And so it's I made a lot of plays on it. So for example, if someone was to subscribe to my channel right now, it would actually come up with, well, either if you follow, you subscribe, or you host, it comes up with different stuff that's based on cookies. Like either it's cookies are being baked, someone's biting into a cookie, or some cookies are being served. And so, see, exactly. Chilligan just hosted me, and so he sees the cookie being eaten, and so
I can see
then
it.
more is the internet degradation version of the word more, MOA, some MORE, and so it kind of goes along the lines of both. It's all internet based in some sort of fashion. The entire we have got cookies on our thing, that's internet based. The tech based version of cookies, that's internet based. More, it's internet based. And more cookies in itself is supposed to be. It started off as a blog, and then I was also doing streaming for like the past decade or so. And then I really started to focus in on. Thanks for following her. So now you see the cookies being served.
Yo, everyone's spamming. Just spamming.
Spamming follows, subscribe to him, someone donate, someone share.
Like, don't even allow him to talk.
All the
Wow.
interactions.
What do you mean like this? Oh yeah, your computer
Oh.
will crash.
But yeah, essentially then it became to more esports and technology based actual like videos and stuff like this. I think one of my videos was just showing off a new phone that had recently come out, and that now has almost 100,000 views just on YouTube and stuff. So it's little random stuff like this that it's slowly been picking up. And so I've really been pushing forward for esports and technology stuff, from saying that it's coming based in the Bahamas, going worldwide. To say, hey, there are people who are interested in stuff like this. Thanks for the follow, Viper.
Spamming.
And oh jeez, Tinsin follows, thanks. And so yeah, that's kind of where the name came from. It's got a lot more going back to it, and I need to pick back up the blogging again, but right now it's the live streams, the podcasts, the working with esport places here, like, well, hopefully you guys, like, hopefully Stan, the other thing I do for Hearthstone, just a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. If you need me, well, that's definitely Tyler's area because I wouldn't commentate. But I'm gonna just say it by the end of it. Oh yeah, that guy lost. He just got like 3-peat. It's okay.
Commentating Hearthstone is actually pretty hard because you kind of have to analyze potential plays and future plays and see which is good and from which perspective and all that. So,
Yeah, I'm just saying, he getting destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of understand it. I don't know if to the level of commentary that I want, but if I'm around ever, I have no problem putting on a headset and talking about some Hearthstone.
Yeah, we'll talk after the stream.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep this guys to really just you and like what you guys are doing, so I'm not gonna.
Well, that's fine, man. That's fine. But it's great, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, this was very fun. Thank you for having us.
You guys for coming on.
Of course. Don't forget, follow your boy MOAR Cookies. That guy over there. Am I pointing the right way? No, wait, this way. Yeah,
I'm
MOAR
up,
Cookie.
like there. Yeah. But yeah, guys. So like they're saying, if you missed any part of this episode, feel free to listen to us either as a podcast. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, pretty much anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, even on your Google Home or your Home Pod or whatever it is that you have. We're also on YouTube. You can always listen to our past episodes as well at moarcookies.com, MOAR cookies.com. And feel free to like, subscribe, follow, pretty much whatever it is that you want to do on any of the different platforms. We're pretty much everywhere that they allow streaming for the most. And of course, we have our Discord as well. So if you want to talk tech or esports, feel free to join that as well as these guys on. So
Black Nebula, baby.
till next time, guys. Take care.
Peace.
Yep.